Part two, I apologize for that. So pretty much, I tried to socialize and stuff online, and it didn't really work out. Well, it did work out, but after let's say my internet got cut off, I had to go outside and start interacting with African Americans, other mixed people. Only the most diverse time I ever had interacting with people that it were groups around were my elementary school. So we had Russian, white, all types of white, all type of Spanish, all type of Asians. Luckily, I had that diversity, because that kind of set my foundation. But in my community where I grew up around, it's just straight African American. It's also a lot of grips. I will say that it's a lot of grips, and they all got different mixtures. But we're all African American lines. Like we all still black, at that time. So long story short, yeah, that's pretty much what happened, bro. Outside experiences, you get older. High school, terrible. Lightskin. Oh, your eyelashes are. Hey, do you have on lashes? So that starts that's like the beginning of the like sissy gay jokes for mixed people or light skinned people. I felt that I had to deal with that too. Sorry, I was just checking the time here, but I had to deal with that too. I don't know if I'll peep, but also put this shit on my neck. I don't know if you say it says Griff, Mulatto, Blue Vein under there, and then the S at the top, which is kind of faded, but it says Blue Vein Society. Basically standing for Blue Vein Society. You got white line shit on there. But that's pretty cool. Like, that's how invested I am into this. Because I pretty much share the same experiences as mulattoes, or the bullying, everything. I went through the same shit. They look at us like the same way. So Griffs, they look at us the same way as mulatto, like as mixed mulattoes, whatever. We just get treated a little different because they don't fully look at us like that. But because they're trying to keep us on one side and then also like abuse it at the same time. More so with mulattoes, they want to like call you, I heard they call them like white boys or whatever. They want to keep them, oh, you're the lightest person in the room, or whatever. My case is like, since I got like a more brown complexion, but I'm still light, and you can tell like some people say I will have like a Dominican complexion or whatever, even though I'm Italian, Jewish, Ukrainian, and it has to be a couple other things. I think Cherokee, but that's relevant. I got European, even long story short, and technically the Griff is like what 25% makes you a Griff technically, so you'll be like 75% African and 25% European. But like I said, those traits could also further down and make you more European, and even trickle down into your characteristics and everything. That's another thing too. If you come out like that, or you have like European or like just different characteristics I'm talking about an African American household too. Once they see that, they will try to like downplay or disclose those characteristics, trying to like basically retrain you, like give you those characteristics that they have. And a lot of times, a lot of grips also get caught into that and they get suppressed into it to where they completely forget about it. I'm just lucky, in my opinion, because I've always been serious about this, to be able to like remember all my characteristics, remember how smart I am, how smart I was and I am at the time, and also remember like what's going on and shit, bro. So I kind of was able to circle back, especially after I graduated high school. I was able to circle back and really look into this, and then I always kept notes and shit over time, mental notes and actual notes. And I found a movement, which is like the mulatto movement, etc. And I found my place in it, and I understand what a griff is. So I definitely want to bring, like more understanding or more awareness to griffs, because there's a lot of griffs out here. I think a lot of the mulatto community, obviously it's a lot of mixed, more mulatto, 50-50, octagon, whatever, like those percentages. But I think majority of it is actually griffs. I could be wrong, but I know a good amount is griffs. So, a lot of us is like completely brainwashed, docile, and in like the black community, it's like there's no. So I'm here to bring awareness for that if I can. Like I said, I'm from Florida. You guys can see like I look like a hood dude, whatever I want to go about it. I don't know what type of demographic I got watching. You know, some of you guys might be from the suburbs, etc. But you know, I grew up in I really feel like I didn't even supposed to be here, bro. But you know, guys are playing for everybody. That's why I'm pretty much part of this movement. But yeah, like I don't even know honestly why I was placed here. Like I do know, but I'm like, bro, there was no reason for me to go through, be in this neighborhood around this shit and go through the shit I went. Unless it had to be for something like this. Cause like, bro, I could have honestly they could have really just placed me in a suburban neighborhood. Like even in high school I went to, I wanted to go to a mixed high school. My African American mother was like, no, you're not doing that. You went to an all black school. So I ended up there. So, you know, one thing I can say though is just because I felt so much pushback and a lot of shit, it made me more masculine. I needed that. I definitely needed that because I told you I was like more feminized when I was a kid, bro. And you know, I really disliked that, bro. Like, kind of hold stigma against my mother for that, bro. But you know, take my energy and put it towards something constructive. This music, I'm also an artist too, so I put it towards this movement and my music. A lot of that showed me too. That's another part. A lot, me being an artist and seeing how people treat me. And see how they treat other light-skinned people who are, you know, will be considered to have any type of emotion or, you know, any other mulattoes actually the one that's more mixed and shit. It just made me see a lot of things, bro. But I noticed that as a griff, I think everybody is on your case. Like the mulattoes that's more mixed, and this could be like resistance, or it can be, you know, openness. Every race, white, Spanish, whatever, this is like, even if I still, have like culturally, you see I have long hair, I got my hair wrapped up, you're black, but you look at my features, they always stare at your features and shit and realize, like, hey, I don't think he's black. He might be Hispanic or something like this, but they never guess to expect that I'm Italian, Russian, Ukraine, and of course, Nigerian. That's what I found in my DNA test. I didn't even believe that shit, but Nigerian too, so, you know, but I'll focus on my European parts or the parts that make me separated from the, you know, African Americans, because that's the things, like when I'm out here in the field in real time, that's what, I'm sorry, checking time. That's what people are staring at. When people stare at my face, they look at me, oh, you're attractive, this and this. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's understandable. But a lot of people are staring at my features and trying to figure out what I am, or just realizing that I'm different than other African Americans, and I'm also different from other more mixed people too. So like they're very confused, bro. And like I said, grifts can come in all different types of forms. Some can be a little more browner than me. Some can be a lot lighter. Some can be some can have like a mixture of like 3 tones at one time. So I noticed I'm like in between like the red color, like the yellow color, and like the fair color all at one time. That might be my take. I don't know if y'all feel like I'm stretching that. It could just more so be like the quote unquote red bone or red skin tone as far as like light skinned people. I don't know if you hear that with the quote unquote light skinned black shell. So in the African American community, they say, you know, like, oh, that's a red bone, that's a yellow bone, that's this and this. So they normally say that to women, but they'll still use that for men too, or they'll also say just light race or whatever. I feel like I'm in a mix between all of them. And then if you have like a olive or like a fair skin tone, you probably still just gonna be considered light, or they might think you like Spanish or some shit. You'll still get considered light skin though. But like I said, bro, they come in all types and forms, bro. And like I said, I'm in the deep south, bro. Well, not the deep south, but Florida is so country, like I said. So a bunch of African Americans, you know, a lot of hoods, a lot of street stuff going on, bro. In Florida, like there's all type of people that fall into the street category here. Mulattoes, Asians. Yes, I mean Asians, and I say that. Arabs, whatever, they all pretty much fall into the street culture, which a lot of African Americans here in Florida. It's like really specific. It's so diverse, but it's so specific. I don't know if you want to call it like the black supremacy shit in Florida, but if we were to talk about like supremacies and shit in different locations, Florida is like one of the only black supremacy locations that allows diversity as long as they're under that. Like they really do. Like, yeah, of course, like black people would do that in all locations. Cause yeah, you want to be black, or this Mexican guy want to be black, this Asian guy want to be. No, in Florida they actually damn near accept them, bro. Like they get the whole aesthetic, the grills, the haircuts, tattoos, whatever. You pretty much accept it. Of course, you'll be hanging with Bantams or just doing the Florida street culture in general. I see a lot of groups that kind of be separated too. Like, it'd be a few Spanish dudes, they're all together, but they still interact with, you know, African American women, African American men, you know, do street business or whatever. So like, you just, bro, it's the culture more so than anything. But that's Florida culture. Of course, you got black culture, but Florida culture is like its own mini but huge thing in itself. So yeah, bro, that's pretty much will be my experience with that. I'm gonna be able to touch on like the discrimination. I'm gonna make more videos touching on like my personal discrimination as a griff or a mulatto griff, what you would call it. Or, you know, obviously what they light skin, black, red, mixed breed, half breed, exotic. I don't know, bro. I had a really exotic looking quote. Well, I'm saying exotic looking because she used that term on me so many years back on her. A real quote unquote exotic, like mixed mulatto chick. Like, she was very mixed, and she wait till she got one-on-one with me to ask. She was like, hey, you look, what are you mixed with? Because you look like really exotic. Are you like exotic? She didn't say really exotic, but shit, you like exotic and shit. She was just like profiling me and shit. But I told her they all, especially women, of course, they stare at our futures and shit. But there's that. So I'm definitely gonna make some more content about that, like doubling down on specific parts. But I just want to give people an overview. Like, yeah, bro, there's a bunch of grips everywhere, especially in the South, bro. You either get the good side of it or the bad side as a grip. Anywhere in the South. But a lot of times, your African American laws, you really don't know your mixture. Now, some of us know our mixtures too. There's no culture for it. Like, there's no other made culture until now that we have this mulatto movement. But we just push into it's very rare. They are pushed into like the Spanish community. Not the Spanish community, but like they'll have that culture a little bit from like their grandparents or whatever. But it's very rare. Like the girl I had met recently, her family spoke Spanish and shit. Or her grandmother and shit do. But it came from New York. And that's like my genetics too. Like my pops, he comes from New York. So his mixture and my mixture comes from New York. You don't even find that in Florida. So that's another thing too. Like, depending on your mixtures and like, is it common in these areas? Like most griffs and shit, mulattoes you see will be like Caribbean in Florida and African American. But Florida is so diverse because so many people came here. You see everything here possible. But like when you got a mix like mine's, you don't see my mix here often where it's like strictly that. Like what I just told y'all, Italian, Jewish, Ukraine, Nigerian, you don't see that. Like you'll hear Italian, you'll hear German. I'm gonna talk like some, you know, of course they'll be like my complexion a little bit, not so much. They'll be lighter than me. You know, you're Italian, German. And then you know, like Dominicans or shit. Like it'll be just a much of like the island shits, like the island mixtures and shit more so. But sometimes you will hear Italian or German and shit. That's what I was told growing up too. But once I started doing my research, I was like, hey, you know, like I got more shit that other people don't have. I noticed that. Or it's like a very unique mixture. And I don't look like nobody else. Except for people with my mixture. I think even in New York, it's not that many people that look like me either. New York has a diverse amount of grips, mulattoes, Hispanic, all type of shit, bro. So there's just some I guess extra insight for that. But like I said, you can either be like, it's hit or miss based off your features and shit and how you act. You know, and in the street culture, like if you have more than somebody, of course they're gonna, you know, do something, you know, like treat you different or, you know, hate on you or whatever. But they either gonna, it's never like, it just depends on your features, bro. Your skin tone, your features, your hair texture, your nose, your cheekbones, whatever. Like they do a lot to determine how they should treat you. And it's really wild, bro. But they definitely do a lot to determine how they can treat you. So but 9 out of 10, you're gonna be like, you're not gonna be completely discriminated, but you're gonna be pulled in for personal uses. Oh yeah. Like even if you're playing basketball, no, we choosing him. They want you, they literally want you to aura form everything for they do. Like you're the person. Like of course you have a choice, But a lot of times they try to make it where you don't have a choice. And then your masculinity definitely get tested, all type of things. But when it comes to women, let me make this clear. Let me make this very clear. As a griff, mulatto griff, like I say, we coming off all colors and whatever and feet. But listen, when it comes to women, bro, there is no race or no ethnicities unless they're mixed, and even mixed sometimes, they don't want you around women at all, bro. Especially if you're attracted like me, you don't, bro. They will not like you talking to your female. They don't want to see you talk to other females. They don't want to see you do whatever. It'll be bad, bro. Only reason I know I get an exception, I still don't really get an exception, but I get more grace is because I'm an artist too, and I kinda, I guess, not pandered, but like musically wise, you know, like sport wise in my city, I technically, you know, put in a lot of time, you know, people fuck with what I'm talking about. They say I got my own energy, my own motion. That comes from me also being a griff. That's why I have my own sauce, but it's like I can not bend, but like shape shift on each level, bro. You know, if I want to be more mulatto or more light skinned, you know, play that side, I can, bro. It's all around the board. It's like basketball, bro. You can play each position, and that's one thing that a lot of people don't like. Even people that aren't mixed, like other mixed people, don't like that. But even a lot of people who aren't mixed don't like it either, bro. So, they know that as well too, because they know you look a little bit different from other mixed people who are more mixed. And you know, they will try to lean you to the side, but the more they look at you, be around you, see your characteristics, how you move, your hands, study everything, they're like, oh well, I don't know, this guy's, yeah, these types are very confusing. They can really pick and choose when they want to do shit, and that's pretty much how it goes, bro. So, like I said, aura forming is insane, bro. The women, they don't want you to be around them at all. Oh, the women aura form off you too. Like, I'm gonna make these videos. I can't discuss all these parts, but I'm gonna break them down though. But I definitely wanted y'all to understand what I was coming from. At least hear this, bro. I can't wait to drop this video. What are you at, 17 minutes long? I'm gonna end up cutting here so I can have more storage, but hopefully y'all tuned in. Drop any comments, give me y'all feedback. If you find out that you're a griff, let me just say this real quick before I end the video. Like I said, your father could be mixed or your mother could be mixed, and one would be African American. So either one African American, whether it's your mother or your father, but somebody has to be mixed out of either one of them, and that they create a griff. Obviously, the female experience is going to be different than the male, but they aren't too different, but they are different. The females go through a lot more. I will say that, a lot more. Discrimination, microaggressions, everything. But yeah, long story short, man, drop a comment if you're a griff, if you're a mulatto, if you're octagon, whatever. Tell me your experience. Tell me, you can drop your experience. You can tell me your opinions, your encounters on any griffs. You know, your questions that you ever had, or like your thoughts that you ever had on griffs specifically. And yeah, like I just wanted to really bring more attention to what a griff is, you know, like, and how we're still under the mulatto category, and, or you know, like the actual mixed category, etc. And we're like almost a step, but yeah, we were pretty much at the bottom of it, right before you even get the mulatto, etc. That would be the middle, or towards the middle. But yeah, so I want to get all experience. Like, we still experience a lot of the same shit, if not more. We definitely experience more. But I'm gonna definitely get in depth talking about other shit later though, on more videos. But hopefully y'all enjoy it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video. Drop your opinions, thoughts, comments, everything in them below. I want to make sure y'all understand what a griff is, and I'm also gonna post videos about comparison. So appreciate y'all, man, this video.